Saraswati Vidyalaya Union High School and Junior College welcomes all the students of Standard 8. I, Mrs. Manisha Chaudhary, will present History, Chapter 11, Struggle for Equality, Part 3. In today's part, we are going to study about the feminist movement in India. Let us begin, students. In the Indian social system, women were given secondary position. Due to many evil practices, they were subjected to injustice. Now, students, feminist means belief in full social, economic, political equality for women. So, how this movement took place that time, that we are going to study now. But during the modern period, there was an awakening against it. Some of the male reformers took initiative in the reform movement related to women. So, during that time, when the freedom movement was going on, that time some male reformers, they took the initiative for the reform movement related to women. In the course of time, women leaders started coming forward. And later on, even the women leaders started coming in front. The independent institutes, organizations came to be established. Pandita Ramabai established the Arya Mahila Samaj and Sharda Sadan. Similarly, Seva Sadan, followed by Ramabai Ranade, are examples of this. So, we can see that Pandita Ramabai, she established Arya Mahila Samaj and Sharda Sadan. And similarly, Seva Sadan was founded by Ramabai Ranade. So, the women took active part and they came in the forefront. Bharat Mahila Parishad 1904 and All India Women's Conference 1927 were founded as well. Therefore, this institutional work reached at the national level. For the issues such as right to inheritance, right to vote, etc., women had to struggle through the medium of these organizations. So, you can see that at the national level also, there were many things like All India Women's Conference, they were founded, and the institutional work, it reached at the national level, means India level. And for these, the issues such as right to inheritance. Now, what is inheritance? The financial gain, that is money, land or possessions, received from someone after the person dies. Now, this, even the woman should get the right of inheritance from her parents. So, this was the issue, the right to inheritance, right to vote, this all should be given to women also. This was there through the struggle, through the medium of these organizations which were formed at the national level. You can see in the picture of Ramabai Ranade. Rakhmabai Janardhan Savi was the first participating woman doctor in India. Now, there were some women who were educated also, and it was Rakhmabai Janardhan. You can see in the picture, Rakhmabai Janardhan Savi. She was the first practicing woman doctor in India. She delivered series of lectures related to health issues of women. She also opened a branch of Red Cross Society at Rajkot. So, for helping the women and for giving proper medical assistance, she delivered lectures on the health issues of women, and she also opened a branch of Red Cross Society at Rajkot. During the 20th century, participation of women in public life began to increase. Women's participation in the national movement and revolutionary work was significant. So, women's participation now began at the national level, and also revolutionary work, it was very significant. After the Act of 1935, women were included in the provincial ministries act as well. So the 1935 act gave right for women to be included in the provincial ministry. They were given that seats were reserved for them, and provincial ministries also they were given after the 1935 act. After independence, the principle of equality of men and women has been clearly stated in the Constitution of India. And students, even after India got freedom, the Constitution of India has given the equality for men and women. It is there in our Constitution that women also should get equal rights. Now, there is some extra knowledge for you all. Dr. Anandibai Joshi, first Indian female doctor. Her son lived a life of only 10 days and then died. This sorrow became responsible for inspiring her to study medicine. She acquired MD degree in 1886. While returning to India, Anandibai contracted tuberculosis. Later, on 16 February 1887, she died in Pune. So, students, here also a female doctor, and her name is Dr. Anandibai Joshi. About her life, it is given that her son lived only 10 days and then he died. So, this inspired her, this sorrow which was there in her, this inspired her to study medicines. She studied medicines. She acquired that degree of that doctor, MD, in 1886. And while returning to India, she was in foreign country. While returning to India, she contracted tuberculosis, that is TB. And later on, she died on 16 February 1887 in Pune. So, that is a bad thing that she acquired the degree in 1886, but unfortunately, she died in 1887. Because TB was not curable that time, it was still under lots of practice, and now of course you have medicines for TB and all that. But earlier in those times, when a person contracted TB, it was very difficult to cure that person. So unfortunately she died in 1887. So students, here we will stop. In the next part, we will continue with the Dalit movement. Thank you.